How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. This is the Love and Hip Hop New York Season 10 Episode 14 review. Baby Mena drama and the finale, because finally we're done with this season and we're finna wait for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And of course, as usual, it looks fire. It looks like it's gonna be bomb. It looks like it's gonna be a hot mess. We know that Fetty Wap's maybe baby mama, what's her name? I keep forgetting this girl's name. Not Masika, the one that hates Masika. I keep going. Whenever I think of her, Alexis Scott, I think that's her name. She is migrating into this season. She's leaving Hollywood and going straight to Atlanta. And she's going to share her story. It's supposed to be a very sad story about her experiences with being kidnapped. So I can't wait to hear that. In addition to that, we got her and Carly apparently got beef. And Carly's waiting for all this karma. That's her bestie to go and get whoever the hell is her enemy. We find that she's been married for at least a year. Ciara might be going to prison for 5 years, and her ex-husband Shooter is not about to go and vouch for her. Then we got Scrap's mama saying that Atlanta is everybody who's fake and phony bullshit. We know Bam is pregnant with her second child with Scrappy, and we know that Mama D has drinking issues, and this might be something that might cause her health to have a problem, and so she needs to work on that. Mimi is learning how to box, and we don't know who she's trying to fight because Jocelyn is not on this season the most, so who are you trying to pick a fight with? Then we got her boo also on here, so this season's finna be lit. So I'm happy that this New York is finished. I can't wait to see the reunion, because I want to see how everybody's gonna handle everything. We know Rich was talking crap about Mena the first episode when they were trying to announce that they were engaged. We know that Cisco and Peter Gunz are gonna go into having drama that's gonna go into the next season of this show. We also want to see how Rich and Olivia are gonna, whether they're gonna settle things, they're gonna get things worse. We know Mendeecees is out. We know that Kim is waiting for Jewels to come out. Unlike Mendeecees coming out, she got 4 kids and she wants, she's taking care of them. We got Jim and Christy, because Jim wants to get married finally after eons. He finally wants to marry. At this point, it don't matter. She already like in her 40s, from what I understand. Bruh, save that ring for when it mattered. You're like, you can't come and marry me after you done wasted all my youth. Now you want me to marry you now when I didn't gain some weight because my age is now up to par. Boy, bye. Anyway, that's happening. We also want to hear what Mama Jones is going to say to Chrissy about the house that she supposedly designed without her permission. We want to know what's going on with Erica Mena, her newborn baby girl, Safaree, because we have a lot that we're going to cover at this reunion, and I can't wait. But for this particular episode, bro, let's get into it. So, it starts off where Cisco and Olivia left off last episode, where Cisco is now denying that he basically put the bug in Olivia's ear that Rich was stealing from her, which made her go and want her lawyer to go and look things up. Now, as I'm listening to Cisco tell his story and act like he don't know what's going on, he tried 2 different tactics, okay? Because I don't believe any of his little act. As fine as he is, when he opened his mouth, all I heard was lies, just going through one ear and coming back out. Was like air. And I was like, bruh, tell the truth. Because Olivia's, when she's speaking, she's like, if you would not have told me this, I would have never found out what's happening behind my back. But it was you who lit the spark. And Cisco is sitting there literally acting like I didn't have this conversation at all. He didn't say something like, you know what, we may have talked and maybe I was mad at Rich and I said something that I wasn't supposed to, but please don't call this man a thief, because he's not a thief. I've not known him to be a thief, but I think you and I were having a conversation and I told you to go ahead and make sure that everything's working out the way you wanted to work out for you. But I never said that this man was a thief. Instead, he's full on, I don't remember that. You would think that he was being questioned by the damn FBI. I don't know, I plead the 5th. I saw nothing. I heard nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't want to be a witness. Close the door. Like, it's like he was like aloof, and then he thought that maybe if he had Olivia and Rich in the same sitting and he could basically say, listen, y'all have been friends for 10 years. Please don't use my mouth and what I said ruin you guys' sisterhood and brotherhood. But Olivia, at this point, when she convinces herself of something and she don't want to hear you, she don't want to hear you. I've found out Olivia does not listen. When you're talking to her when she's hot about something, it's like you can't get through to her. Even if you try to get some sense into her, she's already made up her mind. She wouldn't hear nothing. She'll either think that you're against her or you're for her, but she won't try to hear it from a different perspective. She just won't hear you. So, of course, Rich comes in and he brought his own receipts that him and his mom prepared, say that December didn't really make that much. I guess, what did he say? He said December, the record itself, they only saw like 600 and something spins. And as he's saying it, I don't know if 600 and something spins is a good number or a bad number, because Cisco looked like, that's all? If this is all this song made, this is why she's mad? Really? That's what she thinks? But Rich is putting it off as in her career didn't go so far and she feels like she's owed something. She's trying to find somebody to blame for it. I was like, okay, I don't know what happened because we didn't have the cameras consistently, but Rich seems to have receipts. And Cisco is saying, well, I don't know Olivia to lie. I don't either. I haven't caught her in a lie yet. At the same time, Cisco is also trying to take away the blame from himself and put it off on somebody else. Either he's going to convince Olivia that she heard what she didn't hear, that he didn't say that and she's just making it up in her head. He's going to try to push an agenda. If she wasn't going to buy it, then he's going to try a different move. And I'm going to tell you what that move is as we move along. Then we got Erica and her big ass. Her ass is big. Like, it's just huge. And it's not just because she has a baby. She already had a big booty, a big donk before she got pregnant. Now it's just like, whoop. I was like, yes, ma'am. Safaree must have enjoyed. But she's at her house preparing for the new baby, you know, wondering when her water's going to break anytime soon because Safaree is currently on tour in New York. Remy Ma comes to visit her and she makes a good point, which is what I was thinking. This is your first child and this child could be here any day. It's not like she's in the first trimester. She's about the point where her body looks like she's ready to pop. You chose this particular moment to go and travel to New York to do your tour knowing that your first baby is on the way. I don't know how Erica Mena was able to accept it. I would have had a problem with it because it doesn't look like we're starving for money. So it's something that you could have chose not to do. He chose to do. Remy went to see her. It was a good gesture. I appreciate it. It was nice. Erica enjoyed it too. We got Peter Gunz meeting up with Cisco by Cisco's request at a basketball court. Cisco has now realized that he cannot bullshit the situation by saying that he does not recall and he had a sudden burst of amnesia. So the only role that he thinks he can do to maybe save his ass is come up with the story where he kind of insinuated it but not quite. And the story that he says is that Liv was asking him about keeping track of her music, how she should find out about keeping track of what money is coming in and coming out. Why is it she's not getting any money for the songs that she's singing? What's going on? At the time, Cisco and Rich were not on a good term, so Cisco insinuated and suggested that this is how she should go about figuring out where all her money is going, because he himself has some in-depth experience with the music industry. So he basically gave her the knowledge of going and doing kind of like the back accounting, bookkeeping type work that most of the artists don't get to do. The managers handle all those things. The problem I see is Cisco saying, well, Olivia didn't actually mention Rich's name in the conversation. That shit don't make sense, because from what we know, Olivia was being managed by Rich for years. So if she's asking you about her music and she's saying, hey, I need to know where my song is going and why I'm not being paid, who the hell else is she talking about? The only person that's managing her is the only one she's talking about. So Cisco, you're full of shit at this point. You just don't want to come right out and say that you made the insinuation that Rich may be a thief, but only because you were pissed off at him. So you wanted to find some way to get him back about all the stuff that you felt he was doing to you. So you did something shady, and instead of admitting to it and saying, yo, I was mad, I said this to her, I didn't necessarily call you a thief, but I made the insinuation that caused her to go and cause this beef between you two, and you guys have known each other for a considerable amount of time. I want to save my ass. So I'm just going to go and tell you the story about, yeah, you know, I may have said something, but not the way you think it was said. I just kind of put the bug, but not the way the bug came out. She's just twisting my whatever. Peter ain't stupid. He reads through the BS like I did. He said, y'all should just have the same conversation. You should basically let him know that you kind of started this match, but it's better that it comes from you than from anybody else. Okay. Then we got Yandy and Olivia meeting up to work out with full hair and makeup done. Yandy's hair had some extra curls in it. She didn't put up, you know, a head wrap or whatever. She's out here working out with a full face of makeup and a full curls in her hair. Y'all tried it. This scene was choreographed to the T, but here we are watching them, and Yandy and Olivia decide to discuss the meeting between Cisco and Rich and how it went. Olivia basically says her piece, and Yandy's saying, look, I don't feel like either one of you are lying, but I feel like there needs to be a conversation that needs to be where you both are hearing each other, because you have your mind made up and he has his own truth, but Olivia ain't trying to hear it. She feels like Yandy is automatically sticking up for Rich when she's been doing it for years. Yandy's like, Rich loves you. He was doing stuff that he should have been doing for a girl he was actually fucking, and he wasn't fucking you. So he was taking care of you in a lot of ways, which also makes me look at the situation differently. If Rich was paying for Olivia's hair, Olivia's clothes, helping her keep her money up while he was helping her with her music, that means that he's already financed her in ways that he did not have to. So girl, it makes me think maybe this was a trade-off. He said that he wrote, you didn't write the music, you don't own the publishing, you don't own anything. You didn't sign a contract, your contract doesn't say that. So you weren't supposed to get paid for that. What you were supposed to get paid for was maybe the shows, and according to him, you got your money for that. So anything else you don't get, and on top of that, I've already been shelling out more money in areas of your life I should never have been doing it, because you and I had a personal friendship. In that regard, Olivia could at least hear him out. And then after that, make a decision. All I'm saying. Anyway, we got Fresha and Jen at their new house. And the way that Fresha looked in that damn house in the corner as he was brushing his teeth or whatever he was doing in the mirror, he looked like he was elevated. I was like, what kind of house is this? What kind of design is it? It just looked weird. Maybe it was the way the camera was. I don't know. It just looked odd. Like he looked like he was on top of a mountain and the camera was way below and he's out here brushing his teeth. I don't know. But he comes out and I could not be more irritated with Jen than I am. This man got on both his knees, proposed to you for the second time, because the first time she threw the ring out the window as if she was the one making the money. And he went out, took up not one, but two loans. You know he owes this girl $80,000, $70,000 something dollars. He went out, took a mortgage loan to buy you the house you've been asking for, because you kept telling him, you want it, be about it. You want it, be about it. So he wanted it. He went and gave you what you wanted, including going out and taking out a second loan to buy you your ring, which you said looked nice. But now you're sitting up here bringing up old shit. I just feel like my husband that I want to marry should have never met with Jada by himself. He already told you he did, on the spirit of being honest. Girl, what do you want? His head on a plate. I feel like what she's doing is she's taking advantage at this point. Fresher is at the point where he's on his hands and knees begging to keep his family because he's now made up his mind that he wants his family. Jen feels like she's going to use this opportunity to punish him for all those years that he cheated on her. What happened? You took him back. And when you take him back and say yes to an engagement with your family, with your kids, talking about, I'm so happy that he proposed to me with all my family there. You talking about you were not trying to embarrass him by saying no. You threw the ring out of the window the first time he proposed to you. What do you think saying no would matter? What I feel like was she wanted him to feel some kind of pain because she's holding on to some pain that he had caused her in the past. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to be hurt, because cheating on somebody who has your kids over and over again is very hurtful. But if you say yes to a marriage, to take somebody back, to build a family with him, to have him go take thousands of dollars out on a mortgage loan for you, to have him take $1,000 out on a ring for you after you didn't throw out the first one, and then promise to build something together when he already told you he met with Jada before and y'all try to figure it out. You yelled at him. You want to bring that shit up now again? Girl, bye. You are full of shit at this point. And Fresha, you either need to just walk away and take your ass back to Jada, because at least she made up her mind that she wants you. For real. And maybe then you can take that house you just bought and have her sit in it, because Fresha asked what I asked. What the hell am I doing here then? Why are we in the same house, sharing a house, playing house, if you don't even want to be with me? What's the point? She's like, we're working on us. You said, yes, let's get married. Now we're taking 5 steps back. For what? Why'd you say yes? Like what? Girl, bye. Fresha did not buy that ring because Jada didn't ask. Fresha, for him to buy a ring and propose, it means that she at some point was pushing for it, because she's feeling like, I'm owed this. You've gone through this whole life. I deserve to get a ring. I deserve to be a wife like everybody else I'm around. Fresha bought the house by her request. And not too long ago, she was talking about what she wants in the house. She wants the pool. She wants this. This bipolar ass girl, whatever. She gets on my damn nerves. At this point, I can't stand her ass. I can't. Because I feel like you play too much. Grow up. Either you want to be with him or not. You didn't take him back 50,000 times. What's the difference now? Girl, bye. Anyway, we got Yandy and Infinity meeting up because now Yandy wants to replace the ring. Mendeecees' ring that they got married, she hasn't celebrated anniversary with him. She wants to replace it because she lost the ring. And so she took Infinity out to help her find the ring, but also to discuss how she would feel with Mendeecees being in the house, and she's a foster child. There's an issue with foster families not, they want to make sure that the environment is as safe as possible. Most of the times, I don't think they've done a good job, because there's a lot of foster kids out there that the stories I've heard are crazy. So, but one of the things that they want to watch out for is the fact that they don't want a felon, a convicted felon, in the same house with a child that's in the foster system, because that might be an issue. So there's a problem with Mendeecees coming back and them trying to make sure that she's comfortable. In addition to that, would they get along? She's a teenager and their kids are significantly younger. So they're discussing this, and I love how Infinity handled this. She said, you know, I've talked to him. We've met several times. When we go to see him, I'm comfortable. I think it's cool. Everything will be all right. You know, I'm cool. I'm happy. And her weave she looked good. She looked very well taken care of. And she looked completely different from what she looked like when we first saw her. And she was still trying to figure out the situation of the house. She looks great and she looks very happy. And I'm happy that this arrangement is getting along. Fine. We got Judy and Yandy going to the prison to pick up Mendeecees. And Yandy is very, very emotional because we know that sometimes when you think somebody's going to be coming out with the prison system, the way it works is very much unfair. Because I know that there's some people in the pen right now serving a 20, 30, 40, 50 years for transporting marijuana. But we know that shit is being used with patients who have cancer to help them get through the process legally, medically. On top of that, there are some states that have made the marijuana legal because they realize that they can make more money from it being legal than from it being illegal. Because just like cigarettes were once illegal, alcohol were once illegal, and people were selling it through the black market and underground, doing all that stuff. They realized they could tax that shit, so they made it legal. However, you got people sitting behind bars for that, non-violent crimes, transporting and delivering pounds and pounds of marijuana, sitting there for 50 years. Come on now. This prison system, the way this criminal or justice system is completely shattered. I have zero faith in it because I don't feel like it works best to the public or to the citizens. I feel like it's worked more for like a company. Prison system now, before it was a state-owned institution where the states are the ones who decide how many bodies goes in there. You know, they kind of have more power in everything. Nowadays, it's privatized. You got all these rich people building prisons out there like they're building Disneyland, and the contracts they're having is almost like you have to have bodies in there. And the amount of money they're making is by the millions and the billions, because you got to have companies work with people, have contracts with them who gonna bring the food, who's going to provide the medical care, who's going to provide the water, you know, all this, no, not necessarily the water, who's going to do the plumbing, who's going to make sure that, you know, who's going to, you know, be the architect for the building, who's going to be the, you know, they have to negotiate stuff with states, you know, workers. It's like each inmate costs between $60,000 to $100,000, and that's each inmate. And you're making money off them as if they're cattle, livestock, and they're sitting in the cage for years. This whole mandatory minimum bullshit. Come on now, because you don't. I just, the entire system is completely shattered, and because it's not affecting certain groups of people, they're choosing to let it stay the way it is. When it starts affecting certain groups of people, then they eventually change it. But right now, I don't agree with some of the sentences they give people. Ain't no reason for a man who has marijuana charge should be in there for 50-something years. That's crap. That's the same amount of time you give somebody who committed murder and actually took a life. That shit don't make sense. Whatever, though. Then we got Peter, Rich, and Cisco meeting up, you know, to talk about Cisco now coming clean and letting Rich know that he did put the bug in Olivia's ear. But of course, Cisco wants to explain in the BS story that he gave to Peter, explain it to Rich. Rich decides to act like he's cool and, oh, we're not talking about this no more. But Rich, sis, decides to go ahead and be petty. Rich became, I don't want to say Richina, Rachel. Rich became Rachel because he decided that this was the moment for him to go ahead and kind of let me get you back and be petty, because even though I'm telling you in your face that, oh no, I'm cool, but let's go ahead and be in the spirit of transparency. Let me put your business out there and get you in a bind, because you didn't got me in a bind with somebody that was my friend for a number of years. Peter is also your friend for a number of years. So I'm going to make sure I fuck that relationship up, just like you messed with mine and Olivia. So here we go. Okay, in the spirit of transparency, why don't you tell Peter that you had a Mena staying at your house? Ha! I was like the sting of that one. Oh, shit, that one threw me back. I said, hold the hell on. Amina came to Atlanta apparently, and she came with a friend. And Amina, maybe Cisco wanted to talk to the friend. I don't even know how that arrangement would happen in the first place. What would Amina be doing with Cisco? Why would they even communicate? Like, what's the point? Cisco is cool with Peter. What's the point of Amina talking to Cisco unless Cisco wants to get at that? But the story he tells is that Amina came to town with her friend. Her friend somehow disappeared. Amina's phone died. Amina didn't have a way to go home. She didn't have a place to stay because apparently she may have supposed to stay with the imaginary friend. And so Cisco offered his place for her to come and stay. He said nothing happened. Boy, bye. I don't believe that at all. I really feel like Amina is a beautiful girl, just like Rich was trying to hit on Cisco's girl, the African-American one that was on this show with when Johnny Blaze was on there. She was beautiful, and Rich did screw her. He went after her because he felt like he could do so. Same thing with Mariah Lynn. Cisco went after Mariah Lynn to get back at Rich. Maybe Peter did something to piss Cisco off, and Cisco was cool with Amina staying at his house. But when he realized how far he didn't went, he decided that he wasn't going to tell Peter. But somehow Rich got the snoop about it, so he kept it under his back pocket for this very moment where he can be very messy and throw it out there. And so Richina / Rachel decided that she was going to tell Cisco what happened in a roundabout sneaky way. Peter now is looking at Cisco sideways. Hold on. You had my baby mama / ex-wife, who I had 2 kids with, at your house without even so much as calling me. If you felt like that was an innocent thing to do, you would have called me and said, yo, Amina's here. She had no place to go. She's at my house. I want to make sure you know that there's nothing happening between us. I just don't want you to be mad. I wanted to be upfront. Cisco knew he was doing something fucked up and foul. He kept it to himself. So Peter now wanted to put things into perspective, say, yo, what if I called your baby mama right now and told her to come and stay at my place, knowing that they're probably not in a good, Cisco's probably not getting along with his baby mom? She might say yes and go stay with Peter, and Peter might get in that pants and really tear that ass up and make her the next Amina, because Peter apparently, according to Tara and Amina, know what he's doing behind closed doors in the bedroom. You know, that little head spin he said he's doing. Don't try it at home, but yes, he kisses it right. So, of course, Cisco gets mad because he doesn't want his sexpertise tested by Peter going and getting in there, the same woman that he didn't gotten into. So he says, yo, that's disrespectful. Well, you kind of did the same thing to him, bruh. You had his baby mama at your house spending the night. It would be fair if he did the same thing to you. Why you get mad? Cisco gets salty, but of course he probably has feelings for that baby mom still. He attacks Peter, but Peter ain't no punk, because Cisco went up. He was the one who ran up to Peter. Peter had him on the floor in an instant and was grabbing onto his leg while people were pulling Cisco off. I was like, Peter will fuck Cisco up in an instant. Cisco likes to act like he's tough, whatever. I feel like Cisco can beat up Rich, but Peter can beat up Cisco. That's how I see it, because Peter can fight. From his background, he ain't no punk. He would get it. He would get down too. So Peter got Cisco. He's like, Cisco, you got me all the way fucked up. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not Rich. Then Peter gets taken to a van, and Peter is still talking like he attacked me first. Rich is in the confessional saying, I know Peter. Peter does not forgive, and he damn sure doesn't forget. And he will hold this to the water, and then when he sees Cisco next time, he's probably going to attack Cisco like, you ain't finna put your hands on me, bruh. Cisco decides to get off the floor and runs towards him. I've never looked at Cisco and be so disappointed. I said, Listen, Cisco, I think you're fine. I love your bald headed. I love your beautiful lips. I love the way you articulate yourself with that New York accent. But bruh, you are all the way wrong in this situation with Rich, the situation with Peter. You are in the wrong. Instead of you humbling yourself and apologizing to Cisco that I find sexy, you out here looking stupid. Okay, and you on the floor, bruh. You are disappointing. Okay, at this point, you and I would not be together. We just can't. I can't. I forgive you, but I just can't be with you anymore. In my mind, you just ruined that image for me. I don't even want to lick your scalp anymore. Now, we got the next scene. We have Safaree on tour in New York. He's enjoying it. He's doing his little Omarion copycat type dance that he's doing on his show. He's enjoying himself. He's stressed, doing his tour and making money and really trying to get himself out there and really market his album. Then he gets a call from Mena saying, yo, my water just broke and you are all the way in New York. Where you at? Our baby's coming and you ain't here. I warned you, that my baby is due and you are gone. So of course Safaree's panicking. He cancels the show and he's walking out. I don't know if it was his relative, but somebody here in the corner said, congratulations on the baby. And of course Safaree looks at him and acts like he's the one at fault. I need to get there right now. Congratulations, I need to get there right now. The man, only he said was congratulations. That's all he says. What is wrong with you being congratulated on having your first child? He gets in the car, all right? And he's now hot as if somebody pissed him off. Like, you're the one who chose to go to New York in the first place. You're the one who made this decision when Mena warned you your baby could be here at any moment. Now, you're yelling at people like, yo, shut the fuck. Like, who are you yelling at? It's not their fault. They didn't do anything to you. Don't worry, everything going to Irie. Just go get yourself to the emergency room. Watch your baby come out. If you don't make it, you're going to see her when she's already out. Hopefully everything goes perfectly fine, but yelling at people as if they're the ones who made you miss, possibly miss your baby's being born, it's your fault. Take responsibility. The last thing we got is Yandy and Judy make it to the prison, and Mendeecees is obviously out. We already seen on social media he's out, and she's enjoying herself, and she's very happy to see her man. And I'm happy to have another man who can finally come out, and hopefully this time he does right and keeps himself out of trouble, because obviously he's gonna be on parole for some time. Then the season finally ends. We hear Jimmy, Chrissy do the afterthought, thinking about how maybe she would like to marry Jim one day, but we don't know because now he's ready. Then we see Kimbella saying that she feels like she is superwoman to the max. She got 4 kids and she's been holding it down while Jewels is gone. Kudos to her, because she's not wrong. Then Remy, of course, they have their little tit talks. And this season wasn't, it was but I can't wait. Hollywood so far and Atlanta are the ones that give me life. Miami is slowly catching up, but New York has kind of slowed down. So I don't know. We'll see how Atlanta goes, but I can't wait for that one. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and notification bell. I'm going to go ahead and post the review for Love and Hip Hop Miami. Go ahead and check that one out, because that was the good show too. Yes. Bye. Love y'all.